about the sacredness of Mother Earth and all she gives us. So pee now, because once we're on the road, we ain't stopped.
Live, on tape, from Radio City, in Florida, it's Johnny Sexton's World, featuring Johnny Sexton.
Boy's got a mouth like a cannon, always shooting it off.
Today, let's take a pseudo-intellectual trip into politics, music, entertainment, comedy, and more politics, all from the world of Johnny Sexton.
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
Today's show is brought to you by Kool-Aid, the favorite drink of lift everywhere. Kool-Aid now comes in Angry Apple, Go Eat Grape, Raging Raspberry, Certifiable Strawberry, and Looney Lemon. Kool-Aid is endorsed by the Center for Disease Control.
Oh, this is turning out to be a total waste of time.
And now, because all his clothes are in the laundry and he can't leave the studio naked, Johnny Sexton!
It's go time.
Okay, ready to go now. It's Johnny Sexton's World, my first podcast in a while. I got to thank all you people who are tuning in, but I mean downloading it, listening to it. You people always seem to be able to find me someplace. I've started up a couple of internet radio stations. You people seem to find me there. Every time I go out on the air, you people find me. Got some listeners who have found me on Facebook already and on Twitter. It is Facebook, Johnny Sexton's World. On Twitter, it's hashtag Johnny Sexton's World. You can't miss me. I'm all over the place. We're on Tumblr, Twitter, all those deep places. This is going to be a show, and people who've listened to us know that the show is basically what I want it to be. I don't care about people who don't like the show. I never have. That may have stunted my popularity over the years, but I don't care. As long as I think it's funny, I think it's comedic, or I think it's entertaining, or I think it's pertinent as far as politics goes, that's what is going on the show. So, let's get something straight right now. You guys can email me with suggestions, not demands, by the way. Suggestions. I will take it under consideration. I'll look at it. If I think it's going to work, I'm going to use it. If I don't think it's going to work, it's not going to be used. I have always run this show in accordance to me, as you people who have listened to me will know that the format of this show is going to be basically the same as every show I have ever done. Very simple. Political commentary, bang, number one. Number two, politically driven comedy skits. Number three, music. Number four, unabashed Johnny Sexton. This is what you're going to get. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. I don't care if I make you feel bad. I don't care about politics ruining what I want to talk about. It's not going to be an over-politicized show. This is tough love. That's what it is. My show has always been tough love. And if you don't want to listen to it, if you don't like it, if you don't care for it, if you think I'm abrasive, if you think I'm a moron, if you think I'm an idiot, you don't have to download the show. It's that simple. It's that simple. I think a lot of people will love the podcast. If they love it, great, come along for the ride. If you don't, we don't need you. We don't. I don't need you. I don't need the aggravation of my life of you people getting on here and saying things. Eventually, we're going to do some live shows. This is how it's set up. Right now, we're going to do 3 shows a week, 3 podcasts. They're going to be downloaded per week. Hour long, hour and a half long, 2 hours long, however I feel they should be. Sooner or later, maybe hopefully sooner, we're going to start doing some live shows. And we're going to have some interviews. Very good old person that I used to work with that helps me write sometimes, Johnny Mango, is going to come on at the end of September and help produce the show. He's going to help us find guests. He's going to do a lot of things for us. He's very good at what he does. I trust him explicitly. We're going to rotate co-hosts. We're going to have 3 co-hosts a week, 3 different co-hosts. I don't have one today because this is basically just to show you what this podcast is about. But the 3 co-hosts, I've got 2. I'm looking for one more. This is where the political thing gets a little involved. I have been turned down by 3 or 4 people to co-host the show because, hey, let's face it, they work on the job. I understand why they can't do this show. I don't agree with it, but I understand their thinking. I understand, I agree with what they're thinking, but I don't agree with why they have to think what they think. And even me, sometimes I get caught up in that politically correct bullshit that's been going on now, and I decide, I can't say this, I can't say that. But you know what? That's all it really is. I don't care about being canceled out anymore. I'm through. I've got one of my co-hosts said, he was talking to one of his friends, and his friend said to him, what are you going to talk about? And the co-host, who's Keith Kubik, he actually said to the guy, I don't care. I'm not worried about my job. I'm not worried about anything. I'm going to go on and talk. That's what I like. Okay? The other people, I can understand 2 or 3 of them who can't do that. I understand it. I understand one who works for the government who won't even talk to me. He's a former partner of mine and one of my favorite partner that I've ever had. But he can't even talk. Why? Because he works for the government. He can't say a word. I understand that. But this is going to be a little bit of a controversial show. I'm not going to talk about what they normally talk about. These Fox shows and a lot of these radio shows, they talk about what you've already heard for the day. I want to go deeper than that. I want to find out why things are happening, what's happening. And that's what I want to send out to you guys. Listen, we all know what's going on in the world. We see it. They're letting us see it. They're not doing anything, well, they are doing things behind closed doors that we don't see. But all the superficial crap that they're doing, they're letting us see that because they're doing very nefarious stuff behind the scenes. There's no doubt. And it's not just the Democrats. There are Republicans that are in on it also. Republicans, Democrats, politicians. That's all it really is. They're politicians. And they are screwing us into the ground, royally screwing us into the ground. And we sit there and we take it. All right, give us some more, and then they bring out the sledgehammer, and then they start pounding us on top of the head, pound it. Then they bring out the screwdriver again, they screw it a little more, then they take out the sledgehammer, pound. That's what they're doing to us. Look at your cities, look at all the cities, look at New York City. I'm from Long Island. New York City, while Mayor Giuliani was mayor, was a beautiful, pristine place. You could take your kids into Times Square and go to see a show. You could take them for a walk. You could take them to Macy's. You can't do that anymore. You can't. You know why? Because Mayor Bill de Blasio sucks. That's why. And he knows he sucks, and he's there to suck. In my lifetime, the worst mayor that I had ever seen in New York City was Mayor John Lindsay. Lindsay couldn't keep a budget. The cops were nowhere to be found. People were killing people in the streets. There was garbage all over the place. Couldn't get the snow out of the streets in the winter. And you know what? The media gave him a free pass. It was like everything was okay. Then it got a little better. Mayor Koch, how am I doing? And then Mayor Dinkins came along and really screwed up. He just passed away, God rest his soul, or whatever. But he was another piece of garbage as a mayor. They're applauding him when he died. Oh, what a great mayor he was. It was a piece of crap. Rudy Giuliani had to switch political parties so he could become mayor of New York and fix the goddamn place. Do you believe that? He had to switch from Democrat to Republican and then run against Dinkins to beat his ass and fix the goddamn New York City. And turned it into what it was. And then, here comes de Blasio after Bloomberg's 8 years of imperialism or whatever he thought he was. Here comes Bill de Blasio. Hey, I'm going to fuck up the state. I'm going to fuck up the city. I'm going to screw it all up for you guys. Okay, come on in, Bill, and we'll elect you to a second term. I don't get it. The policemen 5 or 6 years ago at a policeman's funeral turned their back on Bill de Blasio because he wasn't helping them. What did the press do? They vilified the police. Vilified the police. I see the police did it in Chicago this year to Mayor Lighthead, or Lightfoot, or Hotfoot, or whatever her name is. And it's not a big story. Why can't they dig into why the police are turning their backs on the person in charge? They don't care. The media gives them a free pass. These mayors in these cities do not care. They're sitting back. You know what? De Blasio, Lightfoot, they're not banging their head against the wall night after night after night going, geez, what the hell is going on here? I can't even fix this shit. That's not what they're doing. They're sitting back. De Blasio's got a big cigar, feet up on the desk going, oh, that's a job well done. You know, I'm going to run for re-election again. It's crazy. And people are voting for them. People are voting for them. I don't get it. That's what this show is going to be about. Who knows what I just said? But that's basically what it is. This country is going to hell in a handbasket, and they're breaking it up city by city by city. Look at Minnesota. Minnesota, a once sleepy, beautiful state. Minneapolis, a beautiful city. What has happened there? Started Barack Obama bringing in his Muslim caravan in there, and little by little, they have turned that once sleepy state of Minnesota into a shithole. A shithole. Same with Oregon, Portland. Same with Washington, Seattle. California, man, California's beyond repair. I don't think anyone can fix California. But I mean, this is what they're doing. They're turning these states into shitholes, city by city. They're exploding them from the inside out and turning it into a cancer. It's like a cancer. They're rooting the cancer in the middle of the city, and they're letting it grow out. It's growing tentacles. New York City, 1, Rockaway, upstate, Putnam, you know, Long Island, Queens, Long Island. That's what it's going to be. They're using it like a cancer. They're doing it purposely, and we're just sitting there going, all right, give me some more. Give me some more. Give me some more. Another shot in the head. Another shot in the head. Screw me down a little. Another shot in the head. I'll take it. And everyone's sitting around going, what do we do? What do we do? We don't have any politicians to help us. I mean, we've had one, but you know, they don't want Donald Trump there. The Republicans don't want Donald Trump in there. The Democrats don't want him. The Republicans don't want him. No one wants him in the office. Why? Because he calls them out for what they are. They're a bunch of hypocritical assholes. We're going to have something coming up. We're going to talk about a little bit of hypocrisy in the news over the last week. And this is Johnny Sexton's World. I'm Johnny Sexton. Wow, going way back to 1982. Back to my days at WMJY in Long Branch, New Jersey. This is the first song that I ever played on the radio. I remember walking into a hotel that I was going to stay at overnight. It was called the Pier 6 Motel in Asbury Park, New Jersey. I paid for a couple of days up front, went and put my luggage in the room, and the night over the weekend, I went back on Saturday, sleep there, opened the door, and there was this big, fat cockroach sitting right in the middle of the bed. I turned around and walked right out. Here's Don Henley and Dirty Laundry for you.
Just give me something I can use. People love it when you lose. They love dirty laundry. Well, I could have been an actor, but I wound up here. I just had to look good. I don't have to be clear. Come and whisper in my ear. Give us dirty laundry. Kick 'em with the down, kick 'em with the down, kick 'em with the down.